at bcbsms.com.
Reinforcing shot at cooler air coming our way for parts of the weekend behind a front. Not a lot of rain with that front, but a couple of showers here or there. In Tupelo, we're dry through the night, our low dipping to the upper 30s. An overcast on Saturday, slight chance for any rain, the high low 60s. Sunny on Sunday with our high upper 50s. And in Greenwood through the night, some clouds around, a low 40s. Overcast on Saturday, the high 65 degrees. And we are sunny on Sunday, that high right around 60. In the Natchez area, some clouds in place for the early morning, a low 40s. Thickening clouds throughout our Saturday, chances for rain low, the high 70. We're only in the mid-60s Sunday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. This is Think Radio.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Friday Night Under the Lights. Happy Halloween. Count Robinson here, along with George Broadstreet. Chris Saxton is our producer extraordinaire tonight. Ty Bailey on the phone, and Kevin Farrell's back with us tonight from MPB Think Radio, and we're glad to have you with us tonight. A lot of treats out there tonight for some ball games, but a lot of tricks to go with those.
Yeah, the Halloween puns are just running
effervescent.
over.
They're flowing.
Yes, they're just flowing here.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, kind of weird Friday night in the playing on Halloween, and there were like 70 games on Thursday night. Most of the smaller schools played last night. Some of the 7A schools did. And you got a good mixture tonight of mostly MAIS schools and some 7A schools.
Do you know why those games were played last night?
I have a good idea, but why don't you tell us?
A lot of those cities moved their games to last night.
So they could have Halloween.
So kids could trick or treat tonight.
Okay, I know they did that in Pearl, but I wasn't sure.
They did it in Pearl.
Okay.
A couple places. My neighborhood, for example, didn't last night, but they did tonight.
Well, you live in a split neighborhood.
Half of my house is in Brandon, half of it's in Pearl. But
At least it's all in Rankin County.
the mailbox and the post is in Pearl.
Okay.
My English bulldog stays in the backyard. He's in Brandon.
Oh, well.
So do you want to get do some scores?
Yeah.
We have Johnny Middens on the phone.
There you go. Thank you, Christian. There you go. All right, let's do some scores.
All right, we'll do some scores, and we're going to stick to Friday night games. We'll give you some Thursday night scores from last night later on in the show. This is a game of interest that we'll talk about in just a few minutes, but apparently Brandon defeated Pearl tonight 17-10 at Pearl. Good ball game. It was tied in the fourth quarter, and Brandon got a touchdown late. Brookhaven defeated North Pike 41-7. It was Lafayette over Caledonia 42-19. Center Hill beat Saltillo 27-14. East Central edged Van Cleve 27-24. It was East Webster 26, Eupora nothing. Germantown went to Clinton tonight and really beat the Arrows soundly. 47-17 was the final there. Germantown really finishing the season strong. Ocean Springs had a strong game. They also shut out Harrison Central 35-0 tonight. It was Laurel defeating Sumrall 14-10. Pearl River Central over Long Beach 49-21. This was a really good game, went back and forth through most of the night. The score I have is that Madison Central ends up edging Starkville 38-35 at Starkville. That's a big win for Madison Central. And I'm not sure, but that may ensure that they get into the playoffs regardless of what happens next week. Your ball game, Jackson Prep beat Oak Forest 38-13. Petal rebounded from their loss last week to Pearl. On the road, they beat Meridian soundly 42-14. So we look forward to talking to Harrell later on in the evening. Wayne County 27, Purvis 17. South Panola over Olive Branch 47-7. Macomb defeated South Pike 41-12. Horn Lake over South Haven 31-14. It was Hartfield Academy over Starkville Academy 42-20. Stone defeated Northeast Jones 17-7. Terry edged George County 27-20. And one other score I have, West Point over New Hope 38-7.
So I guess West Point hangs on to the number one spot?
I would
Temporarily?
I would say so.
I would say so. Well, we've been talking the whole year about of Friday Night Under the Lights about the fact that we will have, I think, two of the marquee games of the year. Of course, there's some great games going on now. The state championship games will be awesome. But Johnny Mims and the MHC put together the Mississippi-Alabama All-Star Game and also the Bernard-Blackwell All-Star Game. And Johnny joins us here on Friday Night Under the Lights. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Happy Halloween to you, Russ and Chris.
Thank you,
How
sir.
y'all doing?
We're good. If you're in the neighborhood and would like some candy, you may want to swing by.
There we go. Are you taking care of Chris tonight, or is Chris taking care of you?
I think Chris is taking care of me. I think it's kind of like what you said at the press conference. If we didn't have Chris, I wouldn't know where to go. So
I think you're exactly right. You're right.
Hey, Johnny, you've got two really good ball games coming up after the championship games. One's the Miss Al game. One, of course, is the Bernard Blackwell game the next week. The Miss Al game is back at Southern, the University of Southern Mississippi this year. Talk to me about that.
Well, Russ, we're excited. We were able to host our first game ever in the state of Mississippi in 2015. And so, again, we're hosting it. We play it at the Rock at USM. We're looking forward to it. I think we've got a good squad. Of course, Alabama always has a good squad, too. So it's always a good game. A lot of these names you'll hear next year in the SEC and everywhere else they go. And then probably 4 or 5 years from now, you'll hear their name in the NFL.
And it's just as big a game for the coaches to coach in this game, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, no doubt, Russ. They take a lot of pride in this game. This is kind of one of the stepping stones, or one of the things that they look forward to being able to do. Of course, they have qualifications they have to meet and things that they have to do to be able to coach in this ball game. So in order to get there, they've earned the right. Of course, this year our head coach is Ryan Ernest from Laurel. Great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Has done what he had to do to get there, and has done a really good job putting together his staff and their team together.
Johnny, just to kind of break away from that just a moment, I think one of the best stories in high school football this year is the coach that's got Lanier playing so well over there.
Oh, no doubt. He's done a great job. Kelly, he's
Tommy Kelly.
He's done a tremendous job. Can't say enough about the way he's but the kind of kids he's coaching right now. That's how you do it. That's a great example.
Well, now tell us, back to the Miss Al game, how many players will make that roster for Mississippi?
Well, Russ, the roster is 42. That's the rules that we have. 42 players. We have to have one representative from each district. There's 8 districts in the state of Mississippi, and we have to have at least one representation of each classification, which is 7 classifications. So once they fulfill that, then they can complete their roster, and we can't have over 3 players off of 2 teams. That's the most we can get off of a team is 3 players. But once you do that twice, you can only do that twice with your 2 teams. and then you have to select a number of linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers. It's all broken down to even get down to what we call athlete and kickers and long snappers. So, they have the same set of rules. We do that, for a reason, to try to spread the love a little bit. But we don't want our top classifications, our 6 and 7As, to dominate the rosters every year. And so we do that. But by me saying that, we have great players that are 1, 2, and 3, and 4 players that go on and, they're, I think Suntarian Perkins is one that we had a few years ago, from Raleigh.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that's the way they do it. And, but yeah, we're just excited about who we got. Of course, every year it is a tough. These coaches started working on these rosters back in July, and it's just hard to pick 42 players out of all the players that we have in the state. And so that the ones that don't are able to go in and play in our north-south game, which we call our Menard-Blackwell game, and there are players there that that could very well be on our Mississippi-Alabama team. So,
every year.
Prime example is 2 years ago there was a kid named Ahmad Harvey from Lawrence County that was a running back in our Menard-Blackwell game, and after that game, because of that game, he was able to sign with ULM, and we were fortunate to help, not only, help him, but highlight him one more. A year later, he goes in the portal, and now he's the leading rusher in the nation and in the SEC at Missouri.
Wow. What a travel. Wow.
Yeah. So he's a running back at Missouri right now. So, but yeah, we have stories like that all the time.
Well, and you had, Gardner Minshew played in that game.
Say that again,
I said Gardner Minshew played in the Blackwell game.
Yes, Gardner Minshew was the same thing. His route, I think, was through junior college and some different colleges. But yes, everybody knows who he is, and that's another story.
All right, so you've got those two games coming up. We are going to be handling the broadcast for you, and we're very excited about that. And Chris, he goes crazy with cameras this time of year, so don't be surprised if you have one, in every 20 feet. So we're going to try to cover these two games the best we can. But is it possible to get tickets to either one of those games right now?
It is. You can go to our website. Of course, we sell tickets at the gate, but if you want to go and buy tickets before, you can go to our website, which is mscoaches.com, to go there, or you can call the office, our Coaches Association's office, 601-924 3020. You can, get tickets there. But again, tickets are always available. We never sell out. We're expecting good weather. We'll have somewhere between 12 and 15,000 at our ball game.
Yep.
That's what we've been averaging. And we just hope for good weather and hope a good week. We'll take them down. Both teams will go down and stay all week. And, they won't go hungry when they're with us. Really, really good experience for them.
Well, it's a good experience for all of us, because I know our crew here at Friday Night on the Lights just loves going down there and handling both of those games, especially Friday night of the Bernard game as your banquet. And you've given me the privilege of being one of the captains of that game, and it's just a great night for the guys to really get to know each other.
Well, no doubt, Russ. When we get together, a lot of these players, say all of these players, have played against each other. They know each other from just playing against each other and reading about each other. Been in war with them during regular season and even state championships, and all of a sudden they get to be on the same team and play together. Those stories are what we preach. They end up rooming together at the next level. Wherever they go, they get to be good friends down the road just because of the week they get to spend with each other. They get to see them on another side, and of what they've been doing all year long. And and those are our success stories. You know, we love to take these young ones, which all they've done, obviously, and not only help them move on to the next level and maybe showcase that one more game, but you know, get them to where they can meet them at another level.
Thank you, Johnny. We're up against a break. We really appreciate all you do at the Mississippi Association of Coaches, and we'll be talking with you again before those ball games.
Thank you, Russ. Thank you for what you do for high school football, and tell Chris to keep you straight.
You heard him, Chris. Keep me straight.
I will do.
We're going to take a timeout. Tonight's show being made possible by Cricket Wireless. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Hello, Mississippi. Did you know that the average student graduates college with $30,000 worth of debt? That amount of debt can delay major life milestones, including getting married, buying a home, and starting a family. But don't worry, we've got some good news for you tonight. College Savings Mississippi and Treasurer David McRae can help you reduce or eliminate that debt. Their plans are flexible and affordable. Start saving for as little as $25 today. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more. If the money's yours, you should have it. That's why State Treasurer David McRae has returned a record $80 million in unclaimed money to Mississippians. And there's hundreds of millions more, maybe with your name on it. Check the list. Visit www.treasury.ms.gov and see if you have any of the unclaimed money. Each year, banks, utilities, businesses, brokers, and insurance companies turn over millions of dollars to the state because they're not sure who is entitled to the funds. Treasurer McRae has an entire unclaimed money staff waiting to take your claim and return your money. Check the list today. Treasury.ms.gov.
Sit down, Ryan. And we're back with part 2 of Friday Night Under the Lights. You know, Russ and George, I was thinking the one thing with MAIS this year, it's not only how your team is doing.
Right.
You got to watch and say, you know, used to be that's what it was. Now it's how are the teams we've played, and is anybody going to help us with our points?
Yeah.
And even though the team, I guess the facts are, a team could do well and not make the playoffs.
But, you know, I was talking to a coach this week who told me, I can't remember the schools, who they were, but it benefited both of them to lose tonight.
That's wild.
He said they may snap the ball and everybody just got to stand up. He didn't know, but that is possible. I'm going to have to get back with him and find out who that was. Halloween night, 2025 brings everybody out. But to the studio tonight, the Big Nasty is going to be joining us here in a little bit. He was watching that Pearl game, as was a lot of people. But last night, I got a text message from Ty Bowles.
Who was on the phone.
There was no dancing last night, George.
Yeah, lost to Hazelhurst 45-0.
Well, let's bring him in.
So we've got Ty and then Tommy Epton's on.
All
so
right.
Here is Ty Boyles.
Ty, there's no offense in Crystal Springs.
No offense for us.
None. Are they done?
Yes.
Did they? Now, I'm correct. Did they win a game?
No.
Oh, they took the collar. Wow. Do they have a young team?
We got like 24 juniors this year, be seniors next year.
Okay.
And we got, now the rest are freshmen and sophomores.
Well, then there may be some good days ahead. Hey, we got to run. Appreciate you listening to the show. Take us to our next guest.
Go Dogs! Hook 'em horns! Beat Arkansas!
You know, we could talk for an hour about that Texas-Mississippi State game.
Oh.
That
May take longer
Don't
than
deny me.
Oh.
I bet Ty was suffering on that one. All right, let's go. And Tommy Upton, who calls for the Maroon Tide of Picayune. And Tommy, what was going on down in your neck of the woods tonight?
It was Halloween, Russ. It was a scary night for the Tide, quite honestly. We slipped out of there with a 35-31 victory over the Gators, who really are a scary team. Young team, got a freshman quarterback, sophomore running back, threw for about 200 yards, ran for almost 200 yards, and really gave the Tide all we wanted tonight. We were able to pull it out in the end.
And that's the what Gators? Gaucher Gators. Okay. What does this do as far as playoff picture for you for the Maroon Tide?
Well, it locks us in for the playoffs. We got one more game next week. It's our crosstown rivals, Pearl River Central. We'll play them next Thursday night. I don't know that if we've locked up the number one seed. I'd have to look and see what happened tonight. But certainly with a win next week, that should lock us up. We're at least in the playoffs and possibly locked up the number one seed after tonight.
You know, Tommy, for years, Picayune's had, great running backs. Tell me about that running back room right now.
Yeah, with the wide stable, usually we've talked about a couple times, Russ, we usually got a big back, a bruising back. We've had Dante Dodell and Chris Davis, and several other guys over the last few years that's really now carrying the ball in college. This year we got a different stable of backs. We've got a junior, Xavier Dennis, who's 150 pounds soaking wet, but tonight he carried the ball 26 times, 250 yards.
Wow.
The last 2 weeks, he's been over 350 yards each of the last 2 weeks prior to tonight, almost 800 yards in the previous 2 weeks. So he's got over 1,000 yards the last 3 weeks, carrying the ball almost 75 times. That's kind of unheard of from a 150-pound back.
I was going to say, that is a lot of work for a 150-pound back. Now, who's at the control at quarterback for the Maroon Tide this year?
You got senior Colt Robertson, who's having a really, really good year throwing the ball tonight. He had a 70-yard touchdown completion to one of his backs. Had another one that was called back that really should have been a second touchdown pass. Threw one last week for over 70 yards. He's a senior. He's played for a couple of years. His brother, Brady Robertson, left-handed quarterback, took us to the state championship a couple of years ago. So really comes from a great family, a lot of experience, really good baseball player. He's really provided some great leadership for the team. I want to call out a couple of defensive and offensive guys, too.
Okay.
We've got an Alabama commit. Wilson is his name, and he really took over the game late for us tonight, along with Mitchell Smith, who is a Vanderbilt commit at offensive tackle. Both of those guys really just took over the game in the second half defensively, kind of finally put some pressure on the young quarterback from Gaucher, and was able to put the game away late with, getting into victory formation. But hats off to Gaucher. They got a really good football team, really young, but they're going to make some noise. And Tide has just been battle-tested. So we got one more next week against a up-and-coming Pearl River Central team. So hopefully we can sneak out of there. We get them at home next Thursday night.
You'll get them at home. You got to like those odds. Tommy, enjoy your weekend, my friend. Congratulations on the win. Go get you some candy.
Hey, thank you. Roll Tide, Russ.
All right.
Russ, we've got Tommy Barnett next, and then we can get some scores before we go to break. But here's Tommy.
Hey, Tommy. How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, how are y'all?
We're doing good. Were y'all at the Brickyard tonight?
We were, thank goodness.
Who did you have?
Well, we had the Mighty Mustangs from Pillow Academy. It's, let's say, formerly known as the Mighty Mustangs.
Yes.
They've kind of fallen on hard times, Russ, and the scoreboard tonight showed that.
Well, we were talking. Reed Vance was in here a few moments ago. He kind of ducked his head in over there and watched it, and I think he said it was like 40-20, something like that.
No, 42-7 was the final.
Oh, 42-7.
Yeah, it was actually it was really sloppy first quarter by both teams. Jay led 7-0, and then kind of got her act together and scored 28 in the second quarter. So it was a running clock at the half, and Pillow punched one in late fourth quarter. Kind of nice again for the Raiders. This is now 3 weeks in a row, kind of a snooze fest. But you got to rest some guys and get them healed up. And of course now you have a week off.
Yeah. And
then you have to. I mean, if you're going to win a state championship this year, you're going to have to beat the Patriots anyway.
That's right.
You just hate to set their place instead of on a neutral site.
Well, I'll tell you, you're right. I mean, that's going to be some heck of a game. You lost that first ball game. What is the difference between JA 2 weeks from now, than the team that played MRA a couple of weeks ago?
Well, I'll tell you, and actually Brian and I were talking about it post game. If the same team shows up, we're still okay. But you can't have a punt blocked and have it recovered at the 2, and you can't put the ball on the ground inside your own 10. You can't give a Herbert Davis offense 2 drives less than 10 yards.
Oh.
We lost 35-24, and you take those 2 things right there away, Russ, and
won the ball game.
You win the ball game. So it's 2 really, really good teams.
Yeah.
As I say, a lot of dudes on the field when we're playing 2 weeks.
That's putting it mildly, Tommy. That's Division I haven over there in that ball game.
Yeah, it's of course, Jay defense has been really playing well. T.J. White's been a absolute freak the last few weeks.
I was impressed with him.
Yeah, he's really good. Of course, he's not just the biggest guy, but man, his closing speed is incredible. Darion Albert has been really good, and of course, Jaden Holbert and Jalen Walker from Clinton have both been really, really good. So it should be a heck of a game in 2 weeks.
Well, I know, you ask 10 guys or 10 coaches, probably 5 of them will tell you they don't like a week off, and then you talk to the other 5, they'll say they like the week off to kind of get healed up or whatever. As a broadcaster, what do you think?
Well, the thing is, I kind of like having the week off. I think you can kind of go into your bag of tricks, and when you go up there, you're probably not expected to go to Madison and beat MRA. I don't think a lot of people would be shocked if you did, but it's probably not expected. But you put all your chips in the middle of the table and see what happens.
That's why they play the games. By the way, Halloween tonight, and my wife Elisa was telling me that someone came to the door, for candy, and they were dressed as Tommy Barnett, over at JA.
Well, feel sorry for that person. That's a scary sight to go to your front door.
That's right. Hey, Tommy, enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks, bud.
Take care, bud.
Thanks, man.
Bye.
All right. All right, we got some scores before we go to break.
Let me give you a few we did not have earlier. Canton defeated Greenville tonight, 49-28. Gulfport got a nice win on the road against d'Iberville. 38-35 was the final there. Gulfport's now 7-2. Let's see. We've already mentioned Picayune and Gaucher. Picayune winning a close game there, 35-31. It was Hatley and Hamilton. Now that's at 2A level, 53-52. Hamilton prevails over Hatley. That's your game, right?
Yeah,
there.
I love those.
That's your kind of game. Warren Central. Madison Central. Madison Central defeated Starkville 38-35. Did mention that one earlier. Did not have this one. Warren Central beat Callaway 31-7. So Warren Central's now 7-2. Really having a good season.
Yeah, and Chris, I in my haste this morning, I didn't get Brandon Davis in on the log, so we need to get between you and Ty, get Brandon Davis on the phone later this evening and let him talk about the Viking game.
Let me see, and I'll give you a couple of scores from last night. and there were some games of interest. Yazoo City beat Gentry 32-0. That was last night. Oxford came to Jackson and defeated Murrah by the score of 42-0. So the Chargers are really sailing as they go into the playoffs. Columbia defeated Poplarville 49-28. So now Columbia is now 10-0 on the season.
For the second or third year in a row, I think. Yeah,
had a great year.
Wow, a lot going on tonight across the state, and of course you're being able to listen. You can go to fnutl.com and you'll see the scores on our ticker on the side over there. Chris and Dr. Dave. Oh, it's going side to side. Chris and Dr. Dave have fixed that up for you. Big thanks to Dr. Dave. He is in Boonville, North Carolina tonight, handling all of that for us. Got a lot coming up. We're going to be here until 12 o'clock tonight. You'll know everything that happened in high school football tonight. Keep it right here. Friday night, Under the Lights, made possible tonight by the College Savings Program. Coming up with more in just a moment.
Mississippians love football, and our high schools in South Mississippi like Gulfport, Moss Point, and Ocean Springs stay connected with their students, parents, and community by live streaming events, including football through WSN Live. WSN Live provides your school with everything you need for professional and seamless live streams that are easy for students to run. And your fans can watch online from anywhere on any device. With WSN Live, your school gets the right gear, a rock-solid network, and game-time tech support. Learn more at WSNLive.com.
Hello, Mississippi. Did you know that the average student graduates college with $30,000 worth of debt? That amount of debt can delay major life milestones, including getting married, buying a home, and starting a family. But don't worry, we've got some good news for you tonight. College Savings Mississippi and Treasurer David McRae can help you reduce or eliminate that debt. Their plans are flexible and affordable. Start saving for as little as $25 today. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more.
At Mississippi Public Broadcasting, we tell local stories that matter. Educational and entertaining television, radio, news, and podcasts. We have something for everyone. So tune in and enjoy all we have to offer. Every day, MPB. Your stories, our mission.
It's hard to believe we've only had 2 of our sessions go by. We're on the 10:30 hour, I guess you'd say is what it is. But you want to go to Cliff Barker?
Yes, I do.
So here is Cliff.
All right, Tri-County Rebels got the big win last week, and I would assume, Cliff, that it was another night at the office for the Rebels and probably really looking toward the playoffs more than anything else. Is he with us?
Well, it says he's with us.
Cliff, you with us? Here he is. There he is.
Yeah, you got me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay. Yeah, no, it was a totally different ball game than what you saw against Leek. The Rebels passed twice against Leek for 19 yards and basically got in a heavy set and ran it all night. We went over to Rayville last night and went 50-50 pretty much. Passed the ball all over the field, ran the ball all over the field, put up 40 in the first half and took care of business. And now we can finally look ahead at those, what's that word you told me not to say last week that starts with a P? I think I got fussed at last week. I'm not going to get chastised this week, but we're watching those now to see. I think we're going to end up facing Columbia after an off week in the playoffs. But right now, it's a little bit up in the air whether it's going to be Columbia or Washington, but we'll be hosting a playoff game in 2 weeks. But, yeah, we went over to Riverfield last night and played very well. Cooper Johnson threw the ball well. Hayden Hunt had another big night running the ball, and the defense was just lights out. I think they held Riverfield in the first half to 24 total yards.
Oh my goodness! And I saw somewhere this week that the young man, I think is it Hayden Hunt?
Yeah, he's the one I was telling you guys about that had the 2 sprained ankles after week 1 and missed. He was in and out of the game, but he missed most of the middle part of the season, and he really kind of hit his stride against Central Hines. Then played great with 230 yards rushing against Leak. And he's back in the form he was in last year, and when he rushed for well over 1,000 yards. He's looking great for the Rebels, and he's really kind of changed the look of the offense. It's our 2 main running backs are Hayden Hunt, who's a senior, and his brother Cade, who's a 10th grader. And Hayden's really gotten back into that form we wanted him to be in, and he's going to be a real weapon in these 2 playoff games.
Yeah, and Cade's not bad either. I got a chance to watch him. In fact, he started the night against Prep instead of Hayden. And
correct.
So I think you got some bright days ahead on that. With the week off next week, we were just talking about that. You get 10 coaches in a room, 5 will tell you they like it, 5 will tell you they don't. What's your feeling?
Yeah, well, I can tell you, I never, when I was coaching, I never liked an off week, and I know for a fact Philip Watson's not a big fan of the off week. I know, it gets some, we don't really have any bad injuries, so you're not worried about getting kids that much more healthy, and it does give them a week of rest, but what it does, it gets them out of that normal weekly routine, and you kind of hate to get out of that routine, but at the same time, there's pluses and minuses to everything.
Yep.
But I'll just say I don't think Watson's too much of a fan of it. But he's a veteran coach. I mean, he's been in the state championship a lot of times. Already won 5 in his career, and he knows how to handle business. So he'll take care of what needs to be done in that off week and have them ready to roll in that semifinal matchup.
Good enough, my friend. I don't think we'll talk to you next week because you're not playing.
Remind us before we get out. What was that final, Tri-County?
It was 46-8.
Okay, 46-8.
Not even close.
Yeah, they did. Riverfield was able to score right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. One of those running clock second halves, and they did get a touchdown in the second half.
Okay,
very good. Thanks so much, Cliff.
All right, guys. See you in a couple weeks.
All righty. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
So on the phone, little different deal for us. We've got Jake Wimberly and Greg Flynn on the same call. So unfortunately, audience who are watching the live stream, I can only put one
face up.
So I flipped a coin and Jake Wimberly won. So here they are.
Hey guys, you got a good one tonight.
Hey, you should have put Flynn's picture up there instead of mine.
No, Jake has the best hair in the business. So don't even start.
At least he's got some hair.
See?
He wasn't pulling his hair out tonight. Guys, this game could have gone either way, couldn't it? If you'd have played another quarter, would have been different.
Greg, I'll let you go first. I think Russ is right. It was a heck of a ball game.
It was you know what? It was a close game. It was a rivalry game, but oh my gosh, was it ugly. Goodness gracious. It was painful to watch.
How so?
Because both teams, the penalties were just ridiculous. I mean, there were so many pre-snap penalties and holding calls, and everybody was running the football. It was so old school. I mean, this was like watching a 1970s Pearl Brandon game, I think. Ooh. Don't you think, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, it really was. I mean, Brandon, and look, this is not penalties that were offsetting. I mean, Brandon had officially 12 penalties, that went well over 100 yards. Pearl right 9 or 10, and then had several penalties that were offset. It was a very physical ball game, and you look at a ball game that was a 7-3 ball game. Brandon got the first score early. Clayton Shack hit Eli Morey on a 7-yard touchdown. Pearl comes back and gets a field goal. Late in the game, it was a 10-10 ball game, and Greg referenced penalties. I mean, that's kind of where the game kind of ended because Pearl was punting out of their own end zone with under 2 minutes. And then we had a situation where Jack Durd dropped the ball on a loose snap, and then he rolled and tried to throw it. I think they called officially, Greg, you asked about that. That was an illegal man downfield. But then Brandon got teed up with a personal foul taunting. So after they marked that off, Brandon still got the football back. We're able to go down, and Tyson Robinson scores a 7-yard touchdown run with 7 seconds left to ice it.
Well, wow. Brandon got the ball on the 20-yard line, so Durr had turned the ball over on the Pearl 5 after he dropped that punt, and then Brandon got pushed back to the 20. But Tyson Robinson, oh my gosh, I've never seen. I know he didn't play a lot in the early going because he was hurt, Jake, but I've never seen a high school running back that can get that skinny going through the line and make guys miss. Tyson Robinson's incredible.
He is. 25 carries, 146 tonight, caught 3 passes for 7 yards. But, yeah, he's really gotten back to his old form. And, since Eugene Clinton has taken over as the interim head coach, they're trying to do some things a little differently, trying to adjust, pull back in some of the passing game from last year. It's a progress. It's a project in motion, so to speak. But, Brandon gets to win tonight. They'll play Meridian next week. And, look, Region 3-6A is just a cluster right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. We may actually see Region 4 may actually be a better region this year.
Interesting. I've got a story about this ballgame with John Perry. You remember back, both of y'all, a couple of years ago, C Spire was doing their Bright Lights game, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I was on the field. And so I was the one doing the interviews during the week. And I was talking with John Perry, and I said to Coach Perry, Coach, before we start talking about this ball game, I need to clear up something that I keep hearing everywhere I go about something. He started smiling. I said, I heard that when you played in this game, that you were on the bottom of the pile in one play, and you were pulling the hair on the legs of the players that were on top of you. And he said, you know what, Russ? He goes, I'm glad that you brought that up. He said, I want to set the record straight. And he said, I've been hearing this all, for the past umpteen years, and I just want to tell the folks down there, I was not pulling anybody's hair. I was biting them on the leg.
That was pretty much going on tonight. It was very similar. It really was. That's why I say it was so old school. I mean, this was, Brandon wins it 17-10, but it was Jake, I don't know if they played 5 quarters if it would have mattered, if it would have still been a one-score game.
No, I think you're probably right. I mean, these two teams got after it. It was a, typical Brandon Pearl game. Just, again, 5 quarters, I think you're probably right. You probably stalemate. I thought it was probably going to go to overtime at one point. And I think if Pearl could have got the punt off there at the end, that game probably would have ended in overtime.
Yeah, because they had gotten it out to about midfield. I think you're right, because it was about a minute 52 left when Brandon got the ball back. So, but now Brandon pretty much, they play Meridian next week, right? So they pretty much make the playoffs, and because right now Pearl, Brandon, and Northwest Rankin are all tied, and Pearl plays Oak Grove, but it really doesn't matter. They have to, they got to win. But if Northwest Rankin beats Petal, then Northwest Rankin goes, because both Northwest and Brandon now own tiebreaker over the Pirates. So Pearl can beat Oak Grove, but still needs help from Petal beating Northwest.
That should be very, very interesting. Guys, it's been great having both of you on the same call. This is really great. So thank you both, Jake, Greg. Great report tonight. And we'll see what happens next week. I'm with you, Greg. They got to beat Oak Grove, and then they're going to have to get some help. That's a tough position to be in.
We're going to root for Marcus Boyles like nobody's business.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Enjoy your football weekend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All righty. That's Jake Wimberly with the good hair and Greg with no hair.
Well, here's a game we've not given you before, but this concerns Rankin County as well. Northwest Rankin traveled to Oak Grove tonight. Very, very good game, but Oak Grove ends up prevailing 37-34 at home. Oh, actually, no, that was at Northwest Rankin. So that's Oak Grove is now 7-3. They got off to kind of a ragged start.
Yes, they did.
And they've kind of gotten settled and won some big gains, but that was a big game. Like Northwest Rankin, you look at them; they've really played well this year.
They have,
and they're 5-4. It's just the competition is just so tough.
Well, and we've had Devin Cooper, their head coach, on the show this year, and he's one of the best in the business, and it's like you're saying that region. It could go to anybody.
Yeah.
And they just, again, it goes back to those 4 or 5 games before you get into region, as to why you may have 4 losses on your resume.
Yeah.
You got a couple scores to take us out?
Let me throw you one more. And this is a team that we've not really talked about a whole lot this year, as I recall. In 6A, Ridgeland defeats Neshoba Central tonight, 43-37. So Ridgeland's now 8-1 on the season.
Ridgeland.
Like Madison County Ridgeland.
Gotcha. Well, Ridgeland got a big win last night.
Yeah.
Big Nancy's going to come around and tell us what's going on with them. We're going to take a time out. More of Friday Night Under the Lights made possible tonight by Unclaimed Money in Mississippi. We're going to do that right here on the show some night. You what?
Never mind.
I'll find some. We'll be back.
Mississippi football families, have you thought about how you're going to tackle student loan debt? Don't do it on your own. Pass the ball to State Treasurer David McRae and his College Savings Mississippi team today. With College Savings Mississippi, you can lock in today's tuition rate, prepay college, and avoid student loan debt altogether. Don't let your finances get sacked because you didn't invest in your child's education. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more today.
At Mississippi Public Broadcasting, we tell local stories that matter. Educational and entertaining television, radio, news, and podcasts. We have something for everyone. So tune in and enjoy all we have to offer. Every day, MPB, your stories, our mission.
Commercial roofing, reliable and durable solutions for your business. Residential roofing, protecting your home with quality craftsmanship. Metal walls, custom designs for a modern look. Emergency services, rapid response to protect your property.
After a recent hailstorm, I needed a total roof replacement. I chose Malone Roofing for the job, and my new roof looks great.
Contact us today for a free inspection. Visit www.ecmalone.com or call 1-833-7-MALONE.
It was a really good effort by the Mavericks. They were able to intercept the arrows a couple of times in the first half and really put the ball game away early. And Coach Mitchell said he was worried about how his team was going to respond after that emotional win against Madison Central for the first time ever last week. Right. And they responded well, I'd have to say.
Is is this a balanced team? Are they run 60% pass 40% or opposite of that?
They're pretty balanced. I'd say that's probably a good number right there, 60-40 as far as the number of play calls they call for run and pass. As far as yardage, I mean, with King White throwing the football around, I mean, he's going to throw it around for 250, 300 a ball game. And at that point, they're just trying to catch up with the run game as far as the yardage department goes. But they've got two really good running backs and two senior backs, along with the senior quarterback and Lawson Branson and Nye Johnson. Nye Johnson had a huge night tonight, ran for almost 200 yards, got a couple of scores. And that's what they're going to need if they're going to make a deep playoff push. They're going to need the ground game to really carry them late in ball games, ground and pound, put the ball games away, and that's what they were able to do tonight. If you're going to if you're going to go up against the big boys in Tupelo, you better be able to take a beating and deliver it right back.
You're exactly right. What does this do for the Mavericks as far as your region is concerned?
Yeah, so, after the ball game, we were listening to Madison Central Starkville, which I don't know if you guys heard. Madison Central won at the horn on a field goal. I mean, it was right at the horn. They kicked the long field goal to beat Starkville. We were actually, for, more reasons than one, big Yellow Jackets fans tonight. If they would have won, we still had a chance at the district. That actually, with that win by Madison Central, that gives Oxford, they are the champions of District 2. Germantown will be the 2 seed, and then it is a mess after that. Madison Central right now is in the 3. Starkville is in the 4. Clinton and Murrah are at the bottom. Murrah's out. Clinton has a chance. I'm not sure what the tiebreaker is. They play Madison Central next week. So if Clinton can somehow get a win, I think they can get back into it, but it's going to probably come down to point differential. But right now it's looking like Oxford, Germantown, Madison Central, and Starkville. Those would be the 4 teams as of now. Until Brandon Shields is able to do his crazy math, that's what it looks like.
It sounded like to me you got a couple of picks tonight, but it sounded like to me what doomed Clinton, and we got Ray Coleman coming up behind you, but it sounds like Clinton turned the ball over tonight, and that spelled doom for them.
Yeah, and I'm ready to hear Ray on this, but Clinton went right down the field with the ground game. I think they kind of panicked when Germantown's offense got a couple of quick scores, and they kind of abandoned the run game. I thought Clinton could run the ball all night long if they wanted to, but I think they panicked once Germantown got those scores, and they took to the air, and that's not their strong point, throwing the football with those 2 interceptions, and I think that really hurt them early in the ball game.
Well, once again, we're barreling toward that first weekend in December, and you and your crew will have all of the games on MPB Think Radio, and we're excited about that because there's so much going on. There's so much going on during that time of year that it's great to be able to listen to those games in your car.
Yeah, right in the middle of the holiday season. Look, anywhere you're going to be in the state of Mississippi, tune in to all of these wonderful radio stations on MPB Think Radio, and we will have all the games, 1A through 7A, 3 days of high school football. Really excited about it on all these stations.
Well, don't eat too much of that Halloween candy. You still got some games to go before it's over.
Absolutely. It doesn't roll off like it used to, Russ.
No, it doesn't. You're exactly right.
Well, some roles are created, perhaps.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Thanks, Jared. We appreciate you, brother. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, guys.
All righty.
Brandon Davis.
Okay, Brandon. I appreciate you, taking the call, and tell me about the Vikings win tonight. I know they beat Callaway, but tell me what this does for the Vikings as far as the region is concerned.
Well, happy Football Friday to you guys. Really glad to be on the phone with you, and glad to be coming on after Jared Shots. I'm much better than him, so it's not like I'm calling Ray Coleman or anybody legit, But no. This win tonight gives the Vikings the number 1 seed in the region. This is the 3rd straight region title for Josh Morgan. They are actually undefeated since dropping down to 6A, so I think they're 15-0 in region play.
Ooh.
And so we'll have the first 2 games, or the opportunity to have the 2 first games at home, and then we'll see how it plays out with the North with the seeding up there. But we were watching the scoreboard tonight. Interesting to see that, of course, Grenada lost last week. I saw where Cormorant beat them tonight. So it's interesting to see how it's going to play out. But we're pretty excited about what we have with this Viking team. Nash Morgan, he just continues to get better and better each week. He had 3 more rushing touchdowns tonight for the Vikings, and the Viking defense did not allow a score, so the defense is getting better. Callaway did score on a 60-yard fake punt in the first quarter, and they kind of caught us by surprise. But after that, we settled in and played some good football, and we just was excited to see this team able to close it out. And like I said, next week we'll wait and see. We got Canton to close out the season on Thursday night of next week, and then we'll wait to see how the seeding goes and see how it is. But a lot of excitement over here with this team, and we feel like they can make a pretty deep run this year in the playoffs.
I think so, Brandon. I think this team is probably comparable to the team they had a couple of years ago that just missed the gold ring,
Well,
and
yeah.
You tell me.
Well, the thing about it, what we've seen in the past with Warren Central is the defense has always really led this team, and the offense came along. It's just how it's been. It's taken the offense a while to get going, but once you got in toward the end of the season, the playoffs, they pick up and go. But this year it's the opposite. This offense this year, this offensive line, the rushing attack has been phenomenal, and it's been led by Nash Morgan, the quarterback. I think he has 17 rushing touchdowns on the season now.
Wow.
And then that's just rushing. That's not throwing. He's thrown for almost 1,000 yards. And then you have 2 sophomore backs that's really contributing, and the offensive line has just been spectacular. So, and the defense is what's been taking some time to come along. We were replacing the entire defensive line. But, I've been more impressed this season with the coaching that Josh and Rob Morgan have done and the adjustments they've had to make to mold to what they had. In the past, we've seen the talent really take off, but Josh Morgan, this might be one of his best coaching jobs with his defense in many years because he's had, it's been a bend-don't-break defense, but the adjustments he's made at the right time has really helped us and really fired this defense up. So, it's fun watching this bunch, and I'm hoping and seeing how far they can go. But it's been a fun ride so far.
Good enough. Thank you, Brandon, for making us a part of your Friday night. Congratulations on the win, and we'll have speaks next week.
All right. Happy Football Friday, and God bless y'all, and we'll talk later.
Thanks, Brandon. Brandon Davis,
Bye-bye.
voice of the Warren Central Vikings.
Well, you've got about 2 minutes for the break. Here's Ray Coleman.
Well, Ray, Jared said that you guys looked great on that first drive, and then what happened?
Man, they just came out flat, and that's the long and short of it. They did not play well tonight. Now, most of that was because of Germantown and how dominant that program has become, and I do mean dominant. But just not a good showing tonight, man. They came out flat, and because of it, they have a short road ahead of them, meaning if they lose next week, the season is over.
Ooh, and you end the season with
Madison Central.
Yeah. Well, we'll want to talk to you at length about that one next week. Ray, thank you for staying up with us. Tough one tonight, but that's why they play the games.
That's part of it, man. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Thank you, Ray.
Okay, see you guys.
All righty. Ray Coleman is the voice for the Clinton Arrows. That hour went by pretty fast. We will take a timeout and remind you that tonight's show being made possible by the folks at Malone Roofing. They're more than just roofers. They're part of your community. We will take a timeout, and the second hour of Friday night Under the Lights coming up.
One in 10 Mississippians has unclaimed money awaiting claim at the state treasury. There's literally hundreds of millions of dollars waiting to be united with the rightful owner. At www.treasury.ms.gov to search, you'll see your name and stake your claim by following these instructions. You'll be asked for some basic ID like a copy of your license or a government-issued ID, then hit send. Treasurer David McRae has a dedicated unclaimed money team awaiting your claim, ready to return your money. Don't wait. Look for your name and stake your claim today. www.treasury.ms.gov. Hello, Mississippi. Did you know that the average student graduates college with $30,000 worth of debt? That amount of debt can delay major life milestones, including getting married, buying a home, and starting a family. But don't worry, we've got some good news for you tonight. College Savings Mississippi and Treasurer David McRae can help you reduce or eliminate that debt. Their plans are flexible and affordable. Start saving for as little as $25 today. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more.
You know, it just seems like a few minutes ago I was putting together the stuff for the broadcast. It's now an hour later, and we're ready for the second half of the show. We've got some additional guests in the studio. Take over, Russ.
Thank you. Before a lot of folks just getting in their cars. So, George, if you've got some scores, let's go over those, and then we'll get back to it.
All right, Russ, let me give you some of the bigger games of the night. We're going to talk about this one in a few minutes, but Brandon defeated Pearl by the score of 17-10. It was Brookhaven over North Pike, 41-7. East Central beat Van Cleve by the score of 27-24. It was Clanton beating Greenville, 49-28. Germantown over Clinton, 47-17. Gulfport edged DeIberville, 38-35 was the final there. Ocean Springs won their 8th game of the year, defeating Harrison Central 35-0. It was Laurel edging Sumrall 14-10. Pearl River Central over Long Beach 49-21. Madison Central edged Starkville at the buzzer 38-35. Jackson Prep a 38-13 winner over Oak Forest. It was Oak Grove edging Northwest Rankin 37-34. Pascagoula shut out Hancock 35-0. Petal over Meridian 42-14. Picayune edged Gaucher 35-31. Pontotoc beat Columbus tonight 28-20. Ridgeland 43, Neshoba Central 37. Tri-County over Riverfield 46-8. Warren Central over Callaway 31-7. West Harrison, actually Biloxi defeated West Harrison 42-35, and it was West Point over New Hope 38-7.
All right, let's. We got a lot of folks to get to tonight, Harold. We don't have a whole lot of time, but big win for the Panthers tonight.
Partner, hey, I can't say more than anything else that we go up 28-0 after the first quarter, and then we score two more. We're up 42-0. We get a running clock. It was just fantastic to do it, and the scenario is just what everybody's saying. Right now, it all depends on what happens next Thursday. It depends.
And what happens next Thursday on the two teams that are playing that will determine that?
Well, we got Northwest Rankin next week at Petal, and then you got Oak Grove and Pearl at Oak Grove.
Two really good ones.
Two really good ones because Meridian, they just don't. They just don't have a. I don't know about Meridian, but
they're having a down year.
Yeah, they are. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's just like, Jake said and Joe said that they'll be pulling for Marcus Bulls and the Pedal Panthers. Well, I'm going to tell you something, guys. Pearl's got to handle a job at Oak Grove next week, because Oak Grove's not playing around. But it's just going to be interesting to see what happens.
Well, it should be good. It always is down there. I'm in the process of trying. I got pictures of Chesney, my 6-year-old grandson, with that Pedal Panther outfit uniform on, and I've got a picture of my 5-year-old grandson who checks in at a svelte 83 pounds, and he's a tough one. I'm gonna try to get them sent to you. They're not coming out real well out of MPB tonight, so I'll be looking for them. My 5-year-old made the playoffs down there, and I asked him. I asked him last week. I said, "Hey, Hastings," I said, "How did you do?" And he goes, "I got 4 pancakes, Papa." So you got some help on the way. Harold, we got to run. We appreciate you, my friend. We'll talk to you next week.
We'll talk to y'all next week.
All righty.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye, man. Bye-bye.
Mike Peterson.
Oh, Mike, it's been an up and down year for the Tigers. What about tonight? Up or down?
Very, very, very up tonight. Clinched a region championship tonight. Won our 6th game in a row and beat West Jones by a final score of 41-20.
Ooh, woo! Yeah. 41-20. This
41-20.
Mike, when you and I were talking back in August, 1st of September, we never would have envisioned this.
Well, I can't say we didn't envision that. We knew it was going to be tough coming out. Had a whole brand new coaching staff all the way around.
Right, Tony Vance was gone.
Right. Speaking of, let me say this first. Tony Vance made an appearance tonight. We recognized him at halftime.
Oh, awesome.
Great to see Coach Vance there tonight.
Awesome.
Getting back to the game, West Jones jumped down in front, 6-0. Took the opening kickoff and drove it right down the field, and then the next kickoff West Jones gave to us, we took it 89 yards to the house. Took a 7-6 lead. Held West Jones to a 3-and-out, and then on the first play from scrimmage, our wide receiver who turned running back on this play took it 72 yards to the house. So we had 2 plays. It was up 14-6. Eventually took a 27-6 lead into the half and cruised the rest of the way, winning 41-20.
Mike, I got to ask you, because I've seen his name somewhere else on another team, but West Jones did not have Ty Keys tonight, did they?
No, Ty Keys, I think he's at Poplarville. Ty Keys is at Poplarville.
Okay.
And we have Tristan Keys here at Hattiesburg.
That's right.
And five-star athlete going to the University of Tennessee. And he proved tonight while he was that 5-star athlete, caught about 7 or 8 passes for over 100 yards and a touchdown. And tell you what, he's got a real good guy complimenting him named Davian Young. He, in fact, has more catches, more receiving yards, and more touchdowns than Tristan Keys this year. So he's been very complimentary. So if you think you can just cover Tristan Keys and leave everybody else open, they're going to find out you're making a mistake.
They're going to have help over the top is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, now, Harold was just talking about, the big games next week. A lot of these districts, Mike, are going to be settled next Friday.
They are. And, hopefully next week won't be a trap game, as we do need to beat Terry. Even though they said we did clinch the region tonight, you don't really want to have a tiebreaker to determine who's going to be the 1, 2, or 3 seed. So definitely need to play well. Hopefully it won't be a trap game for us. And unfortunately, we're going to be up in Terry playing on a Thursday night again.
Ah, okay. And look here, Terry is enjoying one of their best years in a while this year.
they are. I think they're 8-1
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
And
they-
I said, it's gonna be a battle next week.
Terry beat George County tonight, 27-20.
Hmm.
And all those trips to the metro area, we appreciate the economic development or economic impact.
Y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, we can.
When's the last time West Jones lost 3 games in a season?
I can't remember. I think Calvin Coolidge was president, wasn't it? Been a while.
It's been a while.
Well, Mike, enjoy your football weekend, and let's keep an eye on what's going to happen. You're right. You don't want to go into the playoffs with a loss. So we'll keep an eye on you. Call next Friday to tell us about what happened on Thursday night.
Will do. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you, man.
Joseph Craven.
Joseph, play-by-play voice for Hartfield's Hawks. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my friend. How are you?
Well, I'm pretty good, but I'm kind of bummed out because it looks like I'm coming to see you.
Yeah, it looks that way. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but haven't Hartfield and Jackson Prep met in the playoffs for each of the last 4 years?
That is correct, and in the state championship. The
last 2 ones.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So that's on the docket for 2 weeks from now is yet another Jackson Prep Hartfield game, and I guess we could probably assume it's probably going to be a good one because it always is in the playoffs.
I would say so. And look, you got to toss out the earlier game this season because you're going to have 2 players back in that ballgame. I'm assuming. Because I'm sure they played tonight. Did Braylon Womack and Catchings play tonight?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. So Womack and Catchings have been back from injury the last few weeks, and along with them, there are also some other guys that have come back that were hurt earlier in the year. A player named Luke Wesson, who was new to the team this year and only played 1 game before suffering an injury and was out until just a few weeks ago, and he's really stepped up as well. And, I mean, look, and injuries aside, one of the things, anyone will tell you is that a team is going to be a completely different team by the end of the year than they are earlier in the year.
Oh, yeah.
That applies to both of those, of Hartfield and Jackson Prep, right? So both teams, I mean, it's going to be like they never even faced each other. Well, and that's what makes it so different from years past. Normally, Prep and Hartfield are playing each other in the regular season, final week or next to last week of the year, and then leading into the playoffs. Playing each other early in the season is going to make the playoffs even more interesting because you don't know what to game plan for, No, so it's going to be pretty fascinating.
Well, now, who did you beat tonight?
So tonight, the Starkville Academy Volunteers came
up there. Up there? Or no, they came down here.
No, it was in Flowood. It was senior night for the Hawks, and so it was a home game, and then we were all keeping an eye on Heritage and Lamar because the results of that was going to be what determined whether the playoff game in a couple of weeks was at Hartfield or at Prep. So yeah, the Volunteers came down, and Starkville. I don't know if you know much about SA this year, but they have a stout defense and then an incredibly young offense.
Yeah.
Freshman quarterback, freshman running back, stuff like that. So they have a very bright future, and that was definitely on display. The final score of tonight's game was 42-20 in favor of Hartfield.
All right, how many touchdowns did Womack and Catchings get?
I think if memory serves, it was 1 apiece.
Oh, okay.
And so,
well, you had it at the half anyway, right?
Yeah. It was a running clock ball game by the time we hit halftime. So that's why a little bit difficult to determine exactly. But more than anything, it was just a chance to celebrate the senior class and everything that they've done over the last few years.
What are you going to do next Friday night? You don't have a game.
I know. I don't know what to do with myself. Well, and that's what we were saying on the air as well. It was kind of odd. It felt like just yesterday we were facing the Wildcats of Columbia, but it was 10 weeks ago.
Isn't that something? That I'm gonna tell you, you just blink and it's gone. Well, enjoy your football weekend. Enjoy your weekend next weekend, and then I'll see you soon.
Yeah, come on by. Well, I tell you what is going to take up my time next week is we've got a couple of basketball games. I've got a broadcast.
Yes.
You know, you know me. I'm going to dive straight into basketball season as soon as I can. So I got to find some way to fill the void.
Joseph, I did 2 of them this week.
Yeah, well, I did. Yep, I did one last night. I got 2 of them next week. So you got to love the overlaps.
That's right. That's right. Don't sit around and eat chocolates. Hey, enjoy your Halloween night, and we will talk to you in a couple of weeks, my friend.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great weekend. Look forward to it.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Craven, play-by-play voice for the Hartfield Hawks. All right, George, you want to slide in a score maybe that we haven't had?
Well, let's see if I can find one here. This was a real interesting game. Biloxi at home beats West Harrison 42-35. Biloxi, that's only their 3rd win. West Harrison was 6-3 going into that game.
Ooh.
So that was a nice upset for Biloxi.
Absolutely. We're going to take a timeout. We got a lot more to go to. And by the way, Crazy 8's coming up at 11:30 tonight, made possible by Cricket Wireless. Smile. You're on Cricket. Back in a moment.
Trusted by homeowners and businesses across the Southeast. Commercial roofing, reliable and durable solutions for your business. Residential roofing, protecting your home with quality craftsmanship. Metal walls, custom designs for a modern look. Emergency services, rapid response to protect your property.
After a recent hailstorm, I needed a total roof replacement. I chose Malone Roofing for the job. They delivered top-notch service, and my new roof looks great.
We started looking for roofers when we realized that we had leaks throughout our facilities in our district. What stood out to me about Malone Roofing was great customer service, a fine finished project, and great following. I would definitely work with Malone Roofing again.
My project was a little more complicated than just needing a new roof. I decided that Malone would be who we needed to work with, that would do the best job for us. My experience working with Malone was wonderful.
Contact us today for a free inspection. Visit www.ecmalone.com or call 1-833-7-MALONE.
See your name and file your claim. Even the smallest counties in Mississippi usually have thousands of people whose names are on the unclaimed money list at the Mississippi State Treasury. That's right. Many counties even have tens of thousands of names listed, totaling tens of millions in unclaimed dollars. Since he's been state treasurer, David McRae has returned a record $80 million to Mississippians who've searched the list, found their names, and staked their claim. About 1 in 10 Mississippians have unclaimed money, and that's why you should check www.treasury.ms.gov or click on Unclaimed Money and search today. If you see your name, file your claim. If it's your money, Treasurer David McRae will get it back to you.
Mississippians love football, and our high schools in South Mississippi like Gulfport, Moss Point, and Ocean Springs stay connected with their students, parents, and community by live streaming events, including football through WSN Live. WSN Live provides your school with everything you need for professional and seamless live streams that are easy for students to run. And your fans can watch online from anywhere on any device. With WSN Live, your school gets the right gear, a rock-solid network, and game-time tech support. Learn more at WSNLive.com.
And here we are back for the second section of 11 o'clock. We've got the guys in the studio and Ainsley Brent's on the phone. And here's Russ.
Thank you, Chris. We're going to be talking to Ainsley Brent here a little bit and find out what happened on the coast tonight. But there's been some discussion on the Pearl Brandon game of either a forward pass or all right. Granny's here. He was there. the Big Nasty's here. He was there. So let's see. We'll go alphabet-wise. A, C, B, C, D, G. All right, you go first.
Okay, I didn't understand anything that went on the punt. Pearl was punting from their own end zone, and
with how much time left?
With about 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes probably.
All right, and what's the score at that point?
It's 10-10.
Oh, okay.
It's 10-10. Brandon and Pearl. The punter mishandled the punt, so he took off with it, or the ball hit the ground, whatever. I'm on the other end. I couldn't hardly see that well, but anyway, he took off with it, and he threw it up the field. And they said intentional grounding. Okay? They said intentional grounding on Pearl and unsportsmanlike conduct on Brandon. So, to me, that should be
offsetting penalties.
It should be. But they gave Brandon, after a huge discussion, I thought the play was going to blow up. They give the ball to Brandon on the 15. It took them a few plays, but they punched it in from there.
Well,
with 7 seconds to go in the ball game.
Okay, let's go to the Big Nasty. You were there.
All right, go ahead, tell me yours.
So the what happened on that play? Well, first I'm gonna give back to Brandon on the drive to that. Brandon's punter booted the ball and they downed it at the 5. They pretty much downed it inside the 5. So Pearl's got the ball, and Pearl's been running the ball. Pearl's found their identity against Northwest a few weeks ago. They should have beat Northwest Rankin. I'll fight that to anybody. They should have won the Northwest Rankin game, but they lost. And then they went to Petal, ran the ball all over Petal, and they started the night, ran the ball a little bit. They had one of their running backs hurt. That was big. Alexander, number 5 for Pearl, was not the big one that ran all over Petal last week. Did not play against Brandon. So the punt was rolled back to the punter, who was the quarterback, Jack Durr. He's running to try to get away and see if he can make anything. Well, one of the little flankers is out to the side, and the line of scrimmage is the 5-yard line. Jack's across at the 6-yard line. He throws it. They do throw the flag. The referee signals intentional grounding. It should have been legal forward pass because he was across the line, and then there was a personal foul, but it was a dead play personal foul, so that's why it was not offsetting penalties. And so
that's exactly right.
Like I said, I didn't understand any of it.
Well, I just got a text from Bobby Gross, who was producing the game, and he said that the play was dead before the unsportsmanlike, so they didn't offset. You're exactly right.
Yes.
So they didn't offset. Bottom line, though, it was still one of the best games of the night.
Oh, it was a physical.
Go ahead.
No, it was a physical. That takes you back to where you were thinking it. According to it was like Jake and them said, the penalties, that was awful. Both sides had from holding to offsides to personal fouls. I mean, it was just it was your rivalry, but it was like a good physical football game from the 80s and 90s of Brandon and Pearl.
Wow.
I mean, and Tyson Robinson, the
deal.
kid has been hurt, but I'm gonna tell you, Russ, the kid runs so hard and he's so fast too. I mean, you're not just go. You better wrap him up because he's not hit him. You're not going to bring him down. And
it felt like a college game to me.
Really?
It did. It felt that good to me. But I'm going to tell you, I don't wish anybody to lose a game like that. I mean, that game deserved overtime.
Yeah, that's what Jake was saying.
It deserved overtime. I wish I could have heard what Jake said. That game deserved overtime, and it didn't happen.
All right, guys, we're going to cut you loose. We've got to get some other people, but thank you for coming in studio tonight. It's always good to see you. You've always got an open door here. All right, let's go to Ainsley Brent, who is our reporter from down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Here she is.
Ainsley, you stayed up tonight with us.
We're trying. We had back-to-back nights, so you're welcome.
Do you have anything to tell me about Ocean Springs tonight?
So, I mean, they dominated. They played the only team in the region that hasn't won a single game. So that was 35-0. I know one of their star running backs only played the first quarter.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah. So
they're healthy.
They're healthy. Push that one aside. With other big games happened on the coast, and I think Iberville won, didn't they?
No, they did not.
Okay.
So Gulfport actually won the
That's
region
right.
tonight for the first time since 2019.
That's huge.
It was a close game. At half, it wasn't. The Iberville made it interesting towards the end, but Gulfport came out 38-35. So they won the region straight out now, no matter what happens next week. But it's going to be a dogfight for that 4th seed between 3 teams now.
And who would those 3 teams be?
So that is, let me get that's West Harrison, St. Martin, and Biloxi.
Well, Biloxi got a win tonight.
Yeah, they beat West Harrison, which that's huge. Like if West Harrison won, all 4 seeds would have been accounted for. So that's what kind of threw a wrench in it all. But West Harrison's actually going to is their bye week next week, so they don't know if they just played their last game or not. So that's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, that is tough. What about the other teams like Pass Christian and Long Beach? How are they doing?
Yeah, so Pass Christian clinched the region undefeated. They won it all last night over Bay High, so they will host. Let's see, they're hosting South Pike next week for round 1.
Okay.
They're actually our only team hosting from 4A through 1A next Friday. Long Beach, not so great. They fell to Pearl River Central 49-21. But our other 2 regional champions that were secured tonight were Picayune for, of course, the 5th time in a row.
Yeah.
But also Stone High, they won their first regional title for the first time since 2022. So big night for them too.
Yeah, it was, Ainsley. I got a text earlier tonight from Wayne Fleury, who said Stone beat Northeast 17-0, and they're 4-0 in the region.
They sure are.
So, but they're still coming down to the last week. You said one of these teams is off next weekend. Who is that?
That's in 7A, so that's West Harrison.
Okay, all right. So still some things to be determined.
Yes.
All right, how good is this Ocean Springs team compared to, say, the last 2 years?
I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, their quarterback is young, but he doesn't act like it, and he has his brothers as one of his tight ends. They have a special bond there. He just got to throw it up. He's a giant. Sherrod Whitehead has many D1 offers, and then Solomon Baggett's also their go-to running back. Sherrod just does it all. He'll throw it, he'll catch it, he'll run it. I mean, just a ton of playmakers, but obviously great D-line, great O-line. I mean, they're really impressive. They're a lot of fun to watch, that's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you, we have said it in years past, but I think it really bears out saying this year that the football that's being played on the Mississippi Gulf Coast may be some of the best football in the state.
And it has definitely trended up since I've been here the past 4 seasons. I mean, it's really made me happy that we're finally in the big discussions, per se.
Yeah, and especially Gulfport. I mean, they've been really working down there, and that was big for them tonight.
Oh, yeah, very, very big. I mean, everything they're doing is just clicking. When you got a good quarterback come in, too, this is their first year with Parker Nettles at the helm, and he's done great as well. And, of course, his main weapon, Cooper Crosby, it's hard to stop that guy.
All right, a good wrap-up from down on the coast. Ainsley Brent, thank you so much for that report. We will talk to you next weekend and see what's going on down there.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, and good night.
Good night. So, I tell you what, Ainsley's been helping us for several years, and she works at TV 25, I think it is now.
I have to make a compliment for Ainsley Brent.
What's that?
Of all the pictures I have of people that call in,
yeah,
she's the best picture.
Well, yeah. I will say this. You're right. But I don't think she had a whole lot of competition.
the bar wasn't set very high. Hey, before we go to break, George, you got some scores you want to get to?
Well, there's, a couple
Thursday night, some scores for Thursday night.
All right, we'll throw in a few Thursday night scores. Let me flip over here. Tupelo won. We haven't mentioned them. They won. I think they beat Lewisburg 49-0, I think was the final there. Oxford defeated Murrah 42-0. It was Columbus over Poplarville 49-28. Pelahatchie beat Puckett. They ought to play every week.
Every week.
Pelahatchie beat Puckett 55-0. Richton, who we comment on several times, Richton defeated Newton 32-8 was the final there. Perry Central over Sacred Heart 20-3. Scott Central defeated Lake 35-28. Ethel over Sebastopol 32-12. Seminary defeated McGee by the score of 30-27. It was let's see, who is he trying to tell me here? Oh yeah, that's Richland. The Richland Rangers. Who'd they beat?
They beat East Rankin last
East Rankin, 35-13 was the final there. Stringer defeated Resurrection, 46-7. Taylorsville over Lumberton, 32-7, and one more. Calhoun City shut out West Lowndes 40-0. Those are all Thursday night scores.
And Heidelberg beat Clarkdale 60-7.
Wow.
Wow.
How about that?
Oh, how about that? So, I kind of like the Thursday night games because it gives us a chance to cover those and find out what's going on there. I think Tupelo got their quarterback back.
Well,
and they're going to be hard.
That's good news.
Yeah, that's good news for them. They're going to be hard to beat. It's just been really interesting tonight listening to these guys that call the games, kind of speculate on the playoffs and where they're going and who they're going to play. But the bottom line is there's still probably over half of those divisions that haven't been picked yet.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we're going to take a timeout. Coming up next is the Crazy Eights, made possible tonight by Cricket Wireless. We'll take a timeout. Back in a moment.
Mississippi football families, have you thought about how you're going to tackle student loan debt? Don't do it on your own. Pass the ball to State Treasurer David McRae and his College Savings Mississippi team today. With College Savings Mississippi, you can lock in today's tuition rate, prepay college, and avoid student loan debt altogether. Don't let your finances get sacked because you didn't invest in your child's education. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more today.
At Mississippi Public Broadcasting, we tell local stories that matter. Educational and entertaining television, radio, news, and podcasts. We have something for everyone. So tune in and enjoy all we have to offer. Every day, MPB. Your stories, our mission.
Commercial roofing, reliable and durable solutions for your business. Residential roofing, protecting your home with quality craftsmanship. Metal walls, custom designs for a modern look. Emergency services, rapid response to protect your property.
After a recent hailstorm, I needed a total roof replacement. I chose Malone Roofing for the job, and my new roof looks great.
Contact us today for a free inspection. Visit www.ecmalone.com or call 1-833-7-MALONE.
Support for MPB comes from MDOT. MDOT has the playbook on the road to game day. The MDOT Traffic mobile app is available in the App Store or Google Play. There's more information at mdot.ms.gov.
Donate your car, motorcycle, boat, or RV by going to mpbonline.org. This is MPB Think Radio.
Gentlemen, it is time for one of our favorite quarter-hour shows, and that is Crazy Eights. We've got the guys in, and here is
one of them,
J.C. Fox, right?
J.C. Fox is here.
I think he's
Caston's
first,
here.
if I'm right.
Yep. I'm going to let y'all work it out, then I'm going to come in toward the end. Take it, guys.
All right,
JC.
So I'll be looking at the Division I of Class 1A. And tonight I was in Bay Springs, Mississippi at Silva Bay for their matchup against Porter's Chapel. A couple of players to highlight for the Silva Bay Saints. Their quarterback, Micah Odom, who was on earlier in the year for an interview. 150-plus rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. Excellent effort from him. Brecken Phillips, their running back, had a long rushing touchdown, and his blocking all night was superb. He talks about that in the interview I had with him. Defensively, a few players to highlight for the Saints: Tristan Rogers, Fisher Graham, Levi West, and Grayson Bean. And then for Porter's Chapel, they lost 34-26, but able to keep it a close game. I learned in a conversation with a parent on my way out that they were actually dealing with a whole load of injuries. They were on their second, third quarterback at times. Had a couple guys who continued to play in the game, but probably have some bruised, broken ribs, some shoulder injuries, knee injuries, all sorts of stuff. So really good effort by Porter's Chapel to keep the game that close. Excellent job from them. So I was able to talk to Micah and Brecken Phillips after the game, if we can roll that audio.
All right. Well, Silver Bay won.
I'm here with Micah Odom and Brecken Phillips from Silver Bay. Micah, let's start with you. 4 touchdowns on the night, a whole bunch of rushing yards, a couple passing yards. How do you feel about your guys' performance tonight?
Survive in advance. We know we have a good team. They had a good team. They got unfortunate there with the turnovers, but we just got to keep going and play our game and not make as many mistakes.
It felt like every time you guys made a mistake as the offense, or there's a rough call or something, whether it was the offense or defense, you guys picked each other up. What's so special about your team and the way you guys do that?
We're together. We ain't got no bad people in the group. We're together, and we fight for each other every day.
Brecken, I saw the way you led that defense tonight. You were playing some safety, some linebacker. What's so special about your guys' defense and the way you guys played tonight and this year?
We just play for each other. I mean, we just all look at the next guy over to you, look for him. You play for him. You don't play for yourself. You play for your team and your family.
Something that impressed me about you on the offensive side tonight was you didn't have as many rushing yards, but the way you're able to get field and block. What's your mindset when you have blocks like that?
It's not about me scoring, it's about the team scoring. So if we can win and I don't score a point, I don't care. I just want us to win. And I would block for Micah any day. Because he runs, he puts it on the line.
We do it for each other. We do it for each other. That's all it is.
Thank you, guys. Good luck in the rest of the playoffs.
I think I could coach those kids.
Oh, they're very coachable, sounds like to me.
I was about to say, those sounds like great kids.
That was my third time seeing Silver Bay this year. Very, very good group of kids. Very welcoming spot. That was my first time making it down to Silver Bay. The people there are awesome. They love them some Crazy Eights down there.
I bet they do. And if they keep feeding you the jambalaya, you're going to keep going down there.
Oh, yeah. So Silver Bay won that one 34-26. Some other scores from that Division I: Claiborne defeated Delta Academy 52-26. Deer Creek defeated Prentice 46-6. Benton defeated Delta Streets 48-28. Barry will have some more on that game in a bit. And then looking towards next week, Prairie View, who was in that very tough region 4A, if you will, they play Benton. Humphreys plays Deer Creek. That's a rematch of a game that happened earlier in the year. Humphreys won that one on the road 32-14. This time it's at Humphreys. Newton will play Claiborne, and then River Oaks will play Silver Bay. River Oaks won that game earlier in the year by a score of 52-28 at home, and that one is at River Oaks once again.
All right, Barry?
All right, so Division II, we had not really a whole lot of surprises if you went by the rankings, but honestly, with the rankings and PowerPoints this year, nobody can really tell. So we had Calhoun winning tonight over Marvel Academy 46-12. We got Lee Academy winning 52-6 over Franklin Academy. We've got Tunica putting up a goose egg against Tensas 38-0 right there with the win. And then Tallulah 50 and Heritage 14. Looking ahead to next week, we got some road trips right here. We've got WCCA, we got Calhoun Academy. Calhoun Academy is going to drive about 4 to 5 hours down to WCCA for that game.
I've been at that stadium.
We've got the Battle of Arkansas next week with DeSoto Academy and Lee Arkansas Academy battling it out up there at DeSoto. I've told JC this and y'all this a lot. I'm not betting against Sam Pearson ever again. I'm tired of losing my money on that bet. So Next up, we've got Columbus Christian and Tunica Academy right there. That should be a pretty promising game. To me, I think this will be one of the toughest challenges that Columbus Christian will have all year. Will have had all year right there. They had a pretty favorable regular season, so the quarterfinals right here is where they'll really prove it. They have a great quarterback, though. It's been putting up video game numbers all year, so I'm excited to see what it's going to do against the Tunica defense, which has been clicking lately. And then, as JC mentioned, probably the game he might be going to, the Briarfield and Tallulah game. That is a big rivalry. That's a regular season game they play every single year down there. I think they're only separated by like 20 minutes, something like that. So really big game right there to look forward to. That's probably one to highlight in Division II. And then tonight I went to a Division I game right up the road at Benton Academy. I watched them play against the Delta Street Lions. And let me tell you, the first half of this game, amazing. Back and forth, everything that you'd want in 8-man football. It started off with big runs from Clayton Saxton, 60-yard touchdown runs on the first drive, and then right back, Delta Street's answers with number 44, Lance Link, at quarterback. I know you might not be thinking 44 at quarterback, but he did a little bit of all of it. Running back, quarterback. He had several passing touchdowns on the night, some pretty ones as well, too, and some that just they got there. You know, he stood in there. He had about 3 guys coming to hit him in the face, and he just would lay it up, but his player would go make plays on those 50-50 balls. And so in the first half, very, very competitive, physical game. Benton under Brian Dendy, or under any Brian Dendy team, is going to be physical on the point of the line. And going into the second half right there, it was 34-28. I think it was like a 6-point game. Late turnovers in the third quarter, though, from Delta Street. So those 50-50 balls didn't come down their way late in the game. Delta managed to ground and pound, run it out. 7 touchdowns tonight between Clayton Saxton and Peyton McLawn. And I've got some audio there as well, too, from the game from afterwards.
From the Benton game.
Yeah. Yes. All right, guys, I'm here tonight with Coach Brian Dendy and
Clayton Saxton, Peyton McLawn.
After an amazing game right here, Benton winning 48-28 over Delta Streets right there. Physical game, Coach. What do you got to say about your team's performance tonight?
I'm really proud of our offensive line. I thought we controlled the line of scrimmage most of the night. Our guys ran the ball hard, especially these two right here. Kind of put the game on their shoulders. So great effort by Saxton and McLawn running the football.
Yes, sir. You two put together 7 touchdowns tonight, I'm pretty sure I counted up for, over 300 yards rushing. Any word to the big guys up front that helped make it possible?
Couldn't do it without them, so. Yeah, same. Couldn't do it without them.
All right. What do you think the keys are for this team going forward into next week to come out with another victory?
Got to play physical, have good leadership, and go out with a bang.
Yeah, good leadership. We got to work together, that's for sure.
Okay. Coach?
Yeah, I mean, big challenge, going down to Prairie View. They're a really good football team, a lot of tradition down there, well-coached football team. Just got to go to work Monday, prepare, and we'll be a big underdog, but that's what we've been all year.
Yes, sir. It's always tough when you cross over in that river, but I wish y'all the best luck going forward and for the rest of the year. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Good to see you.
There's always been a little thing between the coaches are saying, man, we cross that river over there, they play different. And it's true. That's one of the beautiful things to me, too, about 8-man is getting to play. You got basically, it's the Mid-South Association for a reason, because you've got Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. So before it would make me a little stingy, like Mississippi team or non-Mississippi team winning it. But if anything, just kind of makes you go, all right, Mississippi, we're just proving it a little bit more right there. Yeah, they got to step up to the plate, answer the call, and that's
how many schools in Mississippi compared to those other states.
It's honestly kind of split almost down the middle. There's 32 total schools. I'd say it's close to 16-16, if not, 20-12, somewhere in there.
20 and 12 is about the breakdown with a couple Arkansas, a couple Louisiana, and then a good number of Mississippi schools.
I was going to ask, you're saying there's 32 teams that play 8-man. Is that up some from a few years ago?
Slightly. It's been around this number.
Okay.
For the past several years, like 4 or so years, because every 2 years they do the redistricting.
Okay.
So it's been around there in that number, but at one point I think it was about like 12. I think it was like a north and a south.
I think when we first started doing this, Russ, it wasn't 32, I know.
No, around 2016, 2015, there was a big shift. It just took off. And since then, you've had some kind of blowback from that and some schools reeling it back. But at the same time, I've also seen some schools, Manchester Academy is one of them, that they had success in it until they could build their numbers back up. And now they're trying, they had a little rough first season with it, but I think they had a little bit more success in this next one. And they're working their way back towards it. So
in the the MAIS. Yes,
exactly. Right. And so it's all about how you want to look at that. At the end of the day, it's still football. At the end of the day, these kids are still competing, playing.
Guys, I'll just ask this very quickly, both of you. What kind of coverage do these teams get in their hometowns as far as media?
Well, at Silva Bay tonight, they had a cameraman from a CBS affiliate.
Is that right?
So they're getting some sort of news coverage down in Bay Springs. I'm not quite sure what affiliate he was from, but other than that, I mean, most of the time I say I'm from the radio and I get strange looks. And once I explain to them it's Friday night under light crazy, it's like, okay. And normally at the games I've been to, I'm the only media person there.
Wow. Barry?
Yeah, just from my time when I was playing, mostly it was local news affiliates out of Greenville. I was in Rolling Fork, so you would have Greenville and every now and again Vicksburg, and then it was great coverage actually at the state championship games when you have all the media down at Jackson at the Mississippi Hall of Fame.
Right.
And they'd do features on you and everything of that nature. But yeah, mostly the small local news outlets and then us here as well.
Big thanks to Cricket tonight for
Thank you.
handling this. Guys, a good job. There are two interns this year, J.C. Fox, Barry Caston from MPB.
You know, Russ, I want to tell you something. I really liked one of those players' names that he was mentioning.
That was?
Saxton. Oh. I'm no relation, but I love the name.
We're going to duck out here and take a timeout. We'll be back for the final section tonight with Brandon Shields to wrap it up in a moment.
See your name and file your claim. Even the smallest counties in Mississippi usually have thousands of people whose names are on the unclaimed money list at the Mississippi State Treasury. That's right. Many counties even have tens of thousands of names listed, totaling tens of millions in unclaimed dollars. Since he's been state treasurer, David McRae has returned a record $80 million to Mississippians who've searched the list, found their names, and staked their claim. About 1 in 10 Mississippians have unclaimed money, and that's why you should check www.treasury.ms.gov or click on Unclaimed Money and search today. If you see your name, file your claim. If it's your money, Treasurer David McRae will get it back to you.
Commercial roofing, reliable and durable solutions for your business. Residential roofing, protecting your home with quality craftsmanship. Metal walls, custom designs for a modern look. Emergency services, rapid response to protect your property.
After a recent hailstorm, I needed a total roof replacement. I chose Malone Roofing for the job, and my new roof looks great.
Contact us today for a free inspection. Visit www.ecmalone.com or call 1-833-7-MALONE.
7:34 on a last-second field goal. Cooper Miller, 20-yard field goals. So Oak Grove lived on the ground game, had 261 yards as a team rushing the football, held the ball the final 5 minutes, went 68 yards in 14 plays to set up the game-winning field goal. Converted 2 fourth-down plays on that drive as well.
You know, Devin Cooper's done a great job with that Northwest team this year. And Oak Grove, it's not their normal year. I mean, they've had a good year. It's not their normal year. What does this situation tonight do to these two teams as far as the playoffs are concerned?
Well, we know the 4 teams out of this region. We just got to figure out the seeding next week. Oak Grove clinches a playoff base. So Northwest Rankin, even with the loss, with Brandon beating Pearl, that clinched them a playoff spot. Oak Grove clinched a playoff spot with a win. Oak Grove clinches a home playoff game if they beat Pearl next week. Northwest Rankin plays Petal next week. So they're going to have to, me and Devin were talking after the game, I think they got to win by 6 or 7 next week. They could steal the 2 seed. Oak Grove would be the 1 seed in that scenario. So, but Brandon beating Pearl tonight clinched them a playoff spot as well.
Talk to me about Northwest tonight. You know, they scored 34 points, but it wasn't enough. What did they do it on the ground or in the air?
They were balanced. Germany Hayden, the running back, had 4 rushing touchdowns. 21 carries, 56 yards, 4 touchdowns. They were all short yardage, except for one of them. The longest one was a 12-yarder. He had a 62-yard touchdown catch on a screen play that tied the game with 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. Gavin Phillipson, the quarterback, let me grab his stats. This is what I had him. 20 of 30 passing, 270 yards, and a touchdown. So
not a bad night.
Not a bad night at all. I mean, Oak Grove, they took advantage of the 1 turnover. Phillipson did throw an interception in the second quarter that Oak Grove turned into a touchdown, made it a 21-7 ball game. And it kind of felt like at the point, all righty, Northwest needs to score or else this game's going to get out of hand. And they scored to cut it to 21-14 right before halftime. So that was obviously a big play or a big counter in the game.
But it was a field goal. Was you say 20-yarder that won it?
Yeah, 20-yard field goal. So an extra point won the game. Cooper Miller, the kicker for Oak Grove, he made 3 field goals tonight for the Warriors, and that's kind of been he's about a 50. His stats are literally about 50% on field goals made and attempts this year. So special teams, they've had their ups and downs this year for sure.
Well, let me ask you this: anything surprise you tonight around the state of maybe an upset?
I'm looking at the scores. Compiling from last night to tonight and doing the brackets and all that stuff. So, just the outcomes. Cleveland beating Lanier tonight, 22-12. Lanier could have clinched the division tonight if they would have won, but that kind of puts a monkey in a wrench in Region 2 5A. So, probably the upset, Lake Cormorant beating Grenada 28-26. Yeah. We have Grenada ranked, so that's going to be a change in the polls this week. So that's definitely a big win for them. And then talk about a team that came out of nowhere. How about the Winona Tigers? They started the season 0-4. A lot of doubts, and they ended up winning 6 of the last 7 games, won the region title, Region 4 3H. They're going to be hosting a playoff game, at least 2 playoff games if they can win next week. So, that's a big one for them. So, as far as like some other ones, East Central beating Van Cleve tonight, 27-24. That puts that put a big wrench in Region 4 or 5A as far as compiling, doing the playoff scenarios. That's going to be because there's now 3 teams at 1 and 3 in Region 4 or 5A, so that's really going to come down to some thinking to figure out who makes the playoffs as the 3 and the 4 seeds in that region.
Let me ask something, because you covered, of course, helping getting a lot of this information together for Chris this summer. Your thoughts on Oxford?
Well, I mean, we had them ranked, I think, 8th when the season started, and they rallied, and they've been a second half team all year. It seems that the theme for Oxford is come out and have a slow first half, and then pick it up a notch in the second half and find ways to win, whether that's getting turnovers or stops, whatever. I mean, just doing whatever they can to win the game, and that's what they've been doing. Obviously, with Kiffin coming in for Dean, who's basically been out the last 2 weeks with the concussion, so that's helped him. I mean, he brings some dynamics to the offense, and brings another piece to a Chris Cutcliffe offensive attack that you if you're a defensive coordinator, you're trying finding ways to stop them. It can get kind of I don't want to say confusing, but it can get difficult to game plan for, so to speak. If that makes any sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And I want to tell you before we cut you loose, a lot of people talking about that Brandon Pearl game tonight. Bobby Gross just let me know that if you wanted to see that game tomorrow, it is going to be on BrandonBulldogs.live, Channel 1, at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think I may take a look at that. That seemed like
I think so too. Oh, and I'll be releasing the playoff matchups for Class 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A in the morning.
Great.
So be looking out for that.
We'll do it. Brandon, thanks so much. Good job as always, and enjoy your football weekend, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
All right. Brandon Shields with us. I think probably I don't say it's a big surprise or anything. I do think the Brandon Pearl it's an interesting game.
Yeah. I mean, considering the fact that Brandon had lost so much momentum, they had the coach change. Pearl gets a absolutely huge win last week at Petal, which was just came out of nowhere. And then they had Brandon at home, and we talked about this last week that probably in the last 6 or 7 years, Pearl's only won maybe one time. So you thought this might be their shot to really kind of get Brandon this week, but they didn't do it.
I think a team that you have to look at out of 7A down in the South is Ocean Springs. I mean, they seem to be really, really stout.
Yeah, you say that, but Gulfport's pretty strong too.
Yeah.
So that'll be real interesting to see how that comes out for sure. And trying to look at some others. Picayune just keeps winning. They just find ways to win. I don't know that they're as dominant this year as they have been in some years in the past, but they just keep winning. They're 8-1. That's really impressive.
Did we get an MRA score tonight?
We didn't. We never got an MRA score. But I take that back. I saw they were up like 70-7.
Ooh.
They were playing Simpson, and I never saw a final, but I don't think it was close. Let's put it that way.
And we didn't get to talk to John Weaver.
No, I had talked to John earlier today, and I knew that they might be getting in late, so we will certainly talk. Well, they're off next week, so hey, big thanks to everybody for listening in. Big thanks to the people that make this show possible. We're talking about Malone Roofing and the College Savings Program, Unclaimed Money, and of course Cricket Wireless. Enjoy your football weekend, and we'll see you back here next week for another edition Friday Night Under the Lights. Good night, everyone.
Hello, Mississippi. Did you know that the average student graduates college with $30,000 worth of debt? That amount of debt can delay major life milestones, including getting married, buying a home, and starting a family. But don't worry, we've got some good news for you tonight. College Savings Mississippi and Treasurer David McRae can help you reduce or eliminate that debt. Their plans are flexible and affordable. Start saving for as little as $25 today. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more. 1 in 10 Mississippians has unclaimed money awaiting claim at the state treasury. There's literally hundreds of millions of dollars waiting to be united with the rightful owner. At www.treasury.ms.gov to search. You'll see your name and stake your claim by following these instructions. You'll be asked for some basic ID like a copy of your license or a government-issued ID, then hit send. Treasurer David McRae has a dedicated unclaimed money team awaiting your claim, ready to return your money. Don't wait. Look for your name and stake your claim today. www.treasury.ms.gov.
Trusted by homeowners and businesses across the Southeast. Commercial roofing, reliable and durable solutions for your business. Residential roofing, protecting your home with quality craftsmanship. Metal walls, custom designs for a modern look. Emergency services, rapid response to protect your property.
After a recent hailstorm, I needed a total roof replacement. I chose Malone Roofing for the job. They delivered top-notch service, and my new roof looks great.
We started looking for roofers when we realized that we had leaks throughout our facilities in our district. What stood out to me about Malone Roofing was great customer service, a fine finished project, and great following. I would definitely work with Malone Roofing again.
My project was a little more complicated than just need a new roof. I decided that Malone would be who we needed to work with, that would do the best job for us. My experience working with Malone was wonderful.
Contact us today for a free inspection. Visit www.ecmalone.com or call 1-833-7-MALONE.